Welcome to the Epic Radio Show. We have singer Anthony Covatta set to talk to us today. PBR is selling a 99 can case of beer. We'll tell you where to get it. PayPal pulls out of Pornhub. We also got Playing with Balls, Get to Work, and much more. Keep it locked right here on the Epic Radio Show. Show. I am your host with the least amount of experience you could expect from a host, Epic. Make sure you follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, any other social media you might find us on. Make sure you check out the epicradioshow.com for news and information on the show. Also, you can view us live right from there. You could always donate to us on Cash App, $ the Epic Radio Show. I think that's about it for my intro. We're going to move over to Jay Val. He's in the studio. Welcome back, Jay.
What's up, guys?
It's been a long time, my friend.
Yep.
How you been?
I've been all right. How you doing?
I'm chilling like a villain over here. Yeah, so... man of many words. Oh, he's going to be... Go ahead.
Got to get back into the morning routine.
Yeah, it's been a while since you had to wake up this early, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got to move over to our other co-host, Chris Kettler. What's going on, my friend?
I'm in the box today. Yeah.
You're wearing a Tommy Church hat. I can't even hurt.
Yeah.
Tommy Church hat today.
I hung it up because he wore it a number of months ago, and I thought today was a good day to bust it out, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just having one of those kind of days. Rough night last night, man. Way too much cocaine and ended up banging this big Amazon chick. You know, it's like
Jeez.
5'11" in her stripper heels.
You know what he reminds me of?
Who's that?
With that hat on and that goatee and all that, and what he just said with the cocaine. You know how much condoms used to cost back in our day? I don't know. We never used them.
Who was that? Willie Nelson?
Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
I have no
That's funny. Wasn't that a Half Baked?
Half-Baked,
That was-
Half-Baked,
Yes. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Great. We do have a great show for you guys today. We have Anthony Covatta. He is a singer.
Yeah.
Straight out of Cleveland. Yeah, he's right here. But he's been on a lot of things like Columbus Got Talent and he was on Broadway. So we're going to talk to him a little later about that. The first thing we're going to talk about is apparently Americans drop their phones at least 4 times a month, according to the New York Post. Yeah.
A month? That's it?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, so hold on to your phones. According to a new research, and 1 in 3 Americans currently have a crack in their phone's screen.
That's me.
Yep. The survey conducted by one poll on behalf of phoneloops.com found that it's apparently very difficult for Americans to get a grip these days, at least on their phones. According to the poll, the average American poll dropped their phone on the ground at least 4 times every week. Over a third of Americans say they actually drop it even more than that, me being one of them. While dropping your phone only once can leave it unscathed and functional, nearly 2 in 3 Americans, 61%, say they've cracked their phone screen or worse the very first time they've ever dropped it.
Yep,
1 in 3 unlucky Americans, 33%, have even dropped their phone straight into the toilet. Here's 10 other unfortunate places Americans say they've dropped their phones: the sewer, bar bathroom floor, hospital bathroom, porta potty, pot of rice, bowl of soup, dog's water bowl, dumpster, beer cup, and a trash can. Yes.
If it's going in that porter potty, you might as well.
It's
leave it.
gone. Yeah.
Dive right in, Jay. Just dive right in. So how, like, I guess my question to you guys is, like, I literally drop my phone 20 times a day. How many times a day do you guys think you drop your phone?
Easily double digits.
Yeah.
Easily.
Guess what kind of, I guess that all depends on what kind of day I'm having.
What do you mean by that? Elaborate.
Like if it's I don't know. I guess if it's one of those days where I'm dropping my phone, maybe like 10 times.
Yeah.
I've slammed it in the car door a few times.
How the?
I don't know.
You have to tell us how.
It's like you set it on your lap, and then like it just falls. It falls, but like off your lap, slides off, I guess.
Oh.
Down in the door, and then when you open it, you don't realize. Or like when you say you're getting in the car, you set your phone down, and it slides off right when you're trying to like shut the door or something.
I have this one spot on the couch I like because the armrest is there, and the way my phone is, I have a Galaxy S9. Like it's pretty rounded. It's not a flat phone at all. So literally, I put it on my armrest, and literally 20 times a day, it just slides right off onto the floor. Slides right off.
That's better than in the cushions. Though.
Every single time it happens, though, Ashley laughs at me. Like, every single time, because my phone hates me. Yep.
And Ashley loves to laugh at you.
Yeah, that too. That too. Where do you think the worst place you guys have ever dropped your phone is?
For me, it was I was stupid and put it in my chest pocket on the motorcycle.
Oh,
and
wow.
I hit a bump, and I was a new phone user. I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
You know, and it popped out
So
of
this
my
was last
chest.
year, right?
Oh, yeah, it's just last year, exactly.
He finally upgraded.
I upgraded, yeah. I used to carry around that suitcase phone from the 80s. You know, didn't work, but I sure the hell thought I looked good.
That old Miami Vice phone.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, his battery supply was like one of those little like them heart monitor machines.
That's great. Yeah. That's so funny.
No, I still use a beeper.
Man, it's crazy because I remember the last time I used like a pager. I mean, this was like
Oh yeah,
late 90s, you know?
well, you held on to it for a long time then.
I did.
Yeah,
I remember the cool thing about the pagers was you could like interchange the cases.
Yes.
Yep.
A pager bling.
Yeah, seriously. And then like, you know, it was cool because like people could page you, but like they couldn't really get a hold of you unless you called them back.
Yeah, so if you wanted to talk to them, you're like, all right, I'll call it back.
Yeah, if not or whatever, or like what used to suck though is in later pagers you got a phone number receipt so you could find out who it was from.
Mm-hmm.
But like sometimes you would get random messages like I hate you or I love you or like you know how they could like make words out of numbers and turn it upside down and you could read it, and like sometimes you wouldn't know where they were coming from, so you would like assume it was coming from like your girlfriend or something and be like, oh, I love you too when you call her back, and then it's like, oh, I didn't text that to you.
Who the hell's texting you? I love you now.
Yeah, who else paging you? Jeez, man. Now the only ones that use it are like doctors and drug dealers. That's about it.
Yeah, or if you're pregnant, you can get a pager. I think I remember having a pager when my ex-wife was pregnant with the first kid.
Why not just get a cell phone?
They didn't have cell phones then, though, man.
Oh, I thought you meant now. Pregnant ladies get beepers.
Well,
I mean now
I
like,
think so. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. No.
Doctors and drug dealers are the only ones that get it now.
You're
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Well, it always was a drug dealer tool. That's basically that. You carried around your pager and a handful of quarters, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that was the life, though.
That was the life.
I mean, payphones. What the fuck? Who was tracing a payphone to just you? You know what I mean?
There was like Serpico sitting in the parking lot across the street with the binoculars at the most.
It's like, oh well, you know, like, and then they would have the codes like cool. Like it would be like, oh, text me 123 if you want a drug or whatever.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's like, how do you decipher that shit?
Yeah.
I mean, and how can you prove that in court? Maybe. Okay, it just happened to be a code for that, but we use it for something different.
That's right.
It was a perfect alibi.
I just wanted some candy, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't nose candy. It was just candy, damn it. I wanted some Smarties. I was crushing them up.
I used to crush up candy and store it.
Only Pixie
Did you
Sticks.
really? Don't admit that.
Yeah, when I was little, like Pixie Sticks.
You started with candy cigarettes, and then you started crushing the Smarties and railing them.
Because candy cigarettes are a gateway drug. Candy drug.
Yeah. That's good, because the last thing you want to be doing is like mainlining that Laffy Taffy shit, man. That's, that'll kill you.
Yeah. Oh no, like Laffy Taffies are the worst. You can't snort them, by the way.
No, you just
you can barely eat them
and melt it down, and then you get shoot up.
There you go.
I like Laffy Taffy,
man, but they're so.
Don't do the Laffy Taffy, man.
Man,
it's bad.
You can't do Laffy Taffies with
be shooting
dentures
or bad teeth.
Like you'll never see a meth head with Laffy Taffies because like they'll be chewing and every single tooth will be stuck in it.
There'll be this glob of stuff with just a bunch of teeth.
Laffy Taffy,
sticking
AKA the trailer park dentist.
If you need a tooth pulled,
just chew on that Laffy Taffy there.
We are going off the rails now.
What's new, right?
Yeah, right. Always. That's what's beautiful about this show.
I love it.
You know, we start off with one topic and it goes into 5. All right, but we're going to take a break. When we get back, we're going to have Anthony Covatta on the line. So keep it locked right here on the Epic Radio Show.
Sideways, upside down. Looking for someone just to be around. And I know I can do this on my own, but I guess I wanna do it all alone. 'Cause you let go, so I let go. Never wanted to let it 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 go.
Ready?
Save me. Spending my days trying to be somebody else, and I never wanted to let you down. Gave you everything, thinking you'd stay around, but you let me down. So I let you down. Then you wanted to let it go. Then you wanted to let it go. Never 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 wanted to let it go.
Ready?
Save me.
This together. Okay, so on the line right now we have Anthony Covatta. He's a singer out of Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome to the show. How
Well,
you-
thank you. Thank you. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing great today. How about yourself?
Very well, very well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's no problem at all. So I guess just first off, if people out there don't know who you are, let's give them a brief rundown. Who
Well,
who
well,
is Anthony Covatta?
I'm some dude. Uh, uh, I'm literally, I'm just a guy who's chasing his dream profusely. That's who I am. So I was born and raised here in Cleveland. I've been playing music out. Pretty much did all the open mics, the local bars. I mean, if there's a local venue, I've pretty much played it here in Cleveland, and a lot of gigs in Columbus and just all around Ohio. And started as mainly like an acoustic artist, and then kind of more recently have kind of translated over to like an EDM kind of pop, but I always try to keep the soul in whatever I'm doing in terms of the vocals. And I just do a lot of that kind of stuff. I do a lot of theater, a lot of acting. So I stay as busy as I can so that I keep myself out of trouble.
Oh yeah, is that something that comes your way quite a bit? Trouble?
I mean, you know what? You guys were talking about mainlining like some sort of sugary something, candy or something, or I don't know. Yeah. I try to keep myself clean by doing positive things. So
Awesome.
trouble.
Awesome.
We're doing what we can.
You've released several singles including
Yeah.
the internationally praised dance single "Here Without You." You actually got a Christmas album coming up, right?
Well, yeah, actually, I worked with the Good Intentions Foundation 2 years ago now, and we did a cover of. It's actually kind of weird how it worked out. The guy who does that album every year, all the proceeds for that album go to the cancer research for the children's ward of the Akron General Hospital. So asked me to come on board to do a song with him, and I just kind of casually was like, I've always wanted to do Away in a Manger, but like an acoustic version of it.
Okay.
And so he was like, that's actually what I wanted you to sing. So it was really weird because it's kind of like, okay.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and it just kind of came together really nicely. So that's out. Like if anybody wants to pick that up, that's out and available to purchase. I believe on all streaming outlets, as well as you can buy it on Amazon and iTunes and all that good stuff. So.
And that Christmas album is called Christmas Memories.
Yeah, the Christmas Memories album, and from the Good Intentions Foundation, and it features a bunch of really talented local artists, and it was produced by Eddie Semeco.
That's awesome.
So really good cause and a really solid album. And I swore to myself I'd never do a Christmas record. I'm not a Christmas person by any means.
Okay.
But,
I mean, that's everyone to each their own, I mean,
right.
Yeah. So also you've been in theater for quite a while.
Yeah.
You've been in you've been in Grease. You were Danny in Grease, and also you were in Collins and Rent. Talk about that experience for you. And
as far as I'm concerned, I was the oldest Danny Zuko ever. I played Danny Zuko. I played Danny Zuko at 34.
Wow.
So I was weird because when the reviews came back, somebody said actually like, we wish this was cast age appropriate. And I was like, oh, I feel very attacked. but there was no like specifics on the characterization, but like my Sandy was literally an 18-year-old girl who looked like she was like 16. Yeah, so
yeah,
it was pretty interesting. But no, really great show, good time, and enjoyed it. That was with the Aurora Theater, and then Rent was actually with the regional premiere of the Tri-C West production of it. So that was kind of a big deal because the rights for the show were just released at that point, and it was in 2014, and at that point it was really expensive for any theater to do that show because when it comes off Broadway, shows are really expensive to do like locally. So they send out a lot of different sort of critics to come out and review the show and stuff like that, even if it's just at a community college or whatever. So that was probably, I would say, arguably like one of my best experiences in theater. Like that role is typically played by an African American man. So first of all, to even have the role that I got was an honor, right? And then to go out there and just be able to do it was tremendous, man. It was a great experience.
Well, yeah, definitely. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
You've actually been a nominee for Best of CLE Scene Magazine 7 years in a row, but you never won.
I haven't won.
No, that's so sad, man. Like, shame on them. Shame on them. Well, hopefully you're nominated again and they get their act together.
Well, I mean, listen, the amount of talent. Well, it's whatever. It's Scene Magazine, and it's a staple in our community. Has been for years. Mm-hmm. So I was honored. I'm honored. It's always a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just poking fun a little bit. But what you did win that is very awesome is you won Best Actor in a Musical for Rent.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that was in 2014 with the Broadway World Awards. They do, like I said, they send out a lot of scouts to different theaters to watch productions of recently released productions and stuff. So I won Best Actor in a Musical. That was really awesome. I was really honored.
Which one do you think you like better? Do you like acting or singing better? Or do you like kind of combining both of them? Because that's kind of what Broadway is, right?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Honestly, I can't decide, man. I love to act. I love to perform. Theater kind of, you know what, theater, I consider it a really good practice for when you're going on stage as a singer as well. It just has made me so much more comfortable as an artist. So I guess I'd say singing is my ultimate passion, but I don't like to choose. Why should I have to choose? You know what I mean?
No, I know, and I see there's a lot of actors. I mean, there's a million that you could probably point out, like, oh, you know, LL Cool J, he did music and acted,
Right.
and why can't I think of the guy's name? Jared Leto.
Ice-T?
Right.
Yeah, Ice-T, Ice Cube. I mean, there's a lot of different people that. I mean, is that something that you think you're interested in? Eventually get into film.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Actually, I've done a lot of theater stuff, as we mentioned, but I did a web series called To New Beginning,
Okay.
which was like sort of like it was like a Facebook original series. It's available to stream on Facebook. It's available to stream on YouTube. It's with Welcome to Midnight Productions. My friend Jasmine Dolphin produced it, and I starred in it as well as like 5 other characters.
Okay.
And it's just a show. It's like a web series about a group of 20-somethings that are kind of trying to like find themselves and like are, you know, kind of fighting against their own demons and shit like that. So
Okay.
that's pretty cool. So yeah,
That is awesome.
I love that kind of stuff. Like I'd love to get in front of the camera and do that kind of stuff as well. So I'm just doing it, man. But I'm also working a full-time job. I'm a working stiff just like anybody else. So.
I mean, and you know, that's a lot of people. I mean, until they really break out and they get like nationally known. I mean, take me for instance. I mean, I still work a full-time job. Chris does. You know,
Yep.
everybody. You know,
Gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah, you gotta
right?
do what you gotta do and follow your dreams, and hopefully either, you know, I would be happy if it was 50-50. If I could kind of live off my job but also make money doing this like I want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But last year you were a finalist for the Voice Instagram knockouts. Talk about that.
Right. So the knockouts, so basically The Voice is like, they put on these various ways to audition for the show. So like there's always those open calls that they do. So this was sort of a means to kind of just, I feel like for them to kind of like go out there and give people an opportunity to show them what they can do. So they allowed people to send clips in of themselves singing to their Instagram. So I sent myself singing Ain't No Sunshine, which is like a cover that I've been doing since literally day one of everything I've done.
Song. I love that song.
Oh, dude, that's like that's like, if I have like an artist that really kind of speaks to me in terms of my vocals, like Bill Withers, that's it for me. He's it for me.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
So we did that, and I ended up winning my knockout round, and then getting to go to the finals in Indianapolis, and unfortunately did not make the show, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
over yet. Yeah,
Nope.
So.
Nope, and the way it seems with you is it just seems like even with your successes and your shortcomings, it kind of even itself out, but you never like give up. It seems like you just keep going, and your goal is just to make it, and that's it, man. And I really hope you do, because you're very talented, and you seem like a really nice guy. So I'm really pulling for you. Did you have something you wanted to add to Chris?
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah, what's up?
Serious question here for you, man.
Yeah, what up?
All right, you're gonna have to put your thinking cap on.
Okay.
All right, you ready? It's early, man. I know. Cheerios or Frosted Flakes?
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna say Frosted Flakes, man. Frosted Flakes.
All right.
Because they're great.
I
That
thought
was
because you could
amazing.
mainline them too. I don't know. When you're out of the last
Oh,
half,
yeah.
Hey, we have to, man. So you got some gigs coming up.
Yeah.
Where can people go see you?
So right now I'm actually I'm starring in a show at Pickwick and Frolic in Hilarities downtown. It's called Toga on East 4th.
Nice.
Which honestly,
Awesome.
when I first got involved in the show, I was really like, oh man, I don't know about these songs. These are older songs, and I was really afraid of like the amount of time that we had, a very short amount of time to learn everything. But the show has come together so well. It's so fun. We bring people up on stage. They do karaoke for a portion of the show. There's contests and there's a lot of prizes that are given out, and it's a very sort of fun. And if you wear a toga, you win a prize. Like there's I get to dance with a lot of women on stage, so that's always fun. But yeah, last night this lady tried to rip my toga off. But no worries, I was wearing extremely tight gold pants, which were being forced to wear. So we're doing that, and then I have the Winter Tide Festival in December, which is sort of like a collection of bars throughout the Gordon Square district are coming together for like a winter festival, and that's December 14th. So look into that, and just a bunch of stuff, man. I mean, just follow me on the social media platforms, and you'll be abreast to all the things I'm doing.
Yeah, and if you want to follow on Facebook, just look up Anthony Covatta. You have a personal page and a fan page. They're both the same. Doesn't matter really which one they add you to, because I'm sure if they add you,
what's funny?
Go ahead.
You know what's funny about that whole thing is that like my personal page is kind of it's way more active than my fan page. Getting people to make the transition from the personal to the fan page is very difficult. So
It is. You know why?
Why?
Because that's probably how you started, was kind of on your personal page. I have that same issue too. So every time we do the show, we broadcast on our fan page, but I also share it to my personal page, because if I forget to, then we don't get as many views.
I think we should just start sending threats to people. Like, listen, just like my fan page, or I'll unfriend you on my personal.
There you go.
Done.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, we know. How can we find you on the Instagram and the Twitter and all that stuff?
So yeah, everything that I do is basically going to be under the username Anthony Covatta Music.
Awesome.
Keep it pretty easy.
Do you have a website?
Yeah. What's that?
Do you have a website?
Actually, I used to. I don't. I need to get that back up. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
No, it's no problem.
I'll get it up.
Just wanted to make sure that we got everything covered.
No, for sure. Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely. So thank you so much for being on the show. You guys definitely need to check out his music. You can even find a lot of his songs on YouTube just by looking up Anthony Covatta. Do you have anything else? Anybody?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate
all right,
it.
it's no problem at all. Thank you for being on the show. We're going to go on break. When we come back, we are going to die. No, I'm joking. We're going to have David Frakes telling you guys to get to work, and we're going to talk about PBR selling a 99 can case filled with 3 different types of beer, and we'll tell you where you can find that. So keep it locked right here on the Epic Radio Show. apparently there was beatboxing going on in the background, and we had no idea.
I didn't even know I could beatbox, man. That's the
know.
weird thing. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
he was just practicing in the booth the whole time,
they're just
and he
busting
forgot his mic was on. It was all that Laffy Taffy. That's what it was, dude.
Yeah.
Son of a
Shit, that
bitch.
Shit the Laffy Taffy kids. It's bad shit, man. Don't do the Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, especially at work, man. What's wrong with you? Speaking of work,
That Laffy Taffy shit'll kill you.
yeah, let me get David on the line right quick.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. God damn all these fucking papers. You know, the thing about this show, man, is I prepare a lot, and it's really funny because, like, okay, that's good. Like, sometimes when I need to get to my keyboard and stuff, I can't because there's like a million papers.
Jay, maybe we should just bring in like a whole ream of paper next week and just cover the desk when he goes.
Yeah.
Like a snow-covered desk
Ringing?
of paper.
Hello? Oh, okay. Hey, what's going on? Hey, give me 1 second. Okay, so we got David on the line. You can't hear him right now because we got him muted. But we're gonna play his intro, and then he'll be telling y'all to get to work. So let's do it. Wherever the fuck that is. Okay, there we go.
Get to work.
Get to work. That's right. So what do you got for us today, David?
Hello.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on the show as usual. I've got some little tips and tricks I guess I could throw at you guys as per always.
Yes.
We're winding down on 2019, right? So Thanksgiving right around the corner. We got a little over a month to Christmas. Did I blink and 2019 go by? Anybody else feel that way?
I hear you, buddy.
It really did, man. Because I swear to God, like, I was talking to I don't know, only a portion of you probably know who he is, but $1 Million Codeine. He I was talking to him. He's a good friend of mine. He was in Division III for a long time, and I was talking to him, and he was talking about moving to Pennsylvania. And this is back in like, it seemed like last month, but I guess it was in August. They did that. So I contacted him recently, like, oh, so when are you moving to Pennsylvania? Oh, I've been here for like 2 months. I'm like, no, you haven't. He's like, yeah, I told you I was moving next week in like August. I'm like, I swear to God, it felt like it was 2 weeks ago. Like, it's amazing how fast that shit is going, man. Be
So
2020
moving,
before
David?
you
Is that
know
what
it.
he's leading into? You're moving?
So how's Christmas already looking for you, David? You get anything bought yet?
I might have a baby on Christmas.
I
So I don't even know
know.
what's going on around that time.
I
Yeah,
know.
so it's gonna be pretty wild.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Did you
thank
get
you.
any stuff for the baby yet?
You know what, guys? You know what's amazing about that? I just didn't have to pull out. That's how that happened.
Yeah, I
The
know.
word of the day.
Well, you know, it's fine. Hey, you know,
It's
it
a
is.
small feat. It's a
I mean,
small feat, but
I mean,
it's a
I have
feat
4
nonetheless.
kids. As I have a history of not pulling
You're not
out.
supposed to
There
be.
you go. Congratulations, man.
I am the best non-pull-outer. Anyways, I'm
So-
sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No sweat. I wanted to talk about hiring trends, and this will kind of help people understand. I found an article on fastcompany.com. You can check those guys out. The article basically shows the 5 hiring trends in 2019 that they predicted and that actually took off. And I think a lot of these are important for folks that have either been in the job market forever or just getting started. It's kind of like a cheat sheet. You know, if you don't want to sit down and review what's going on in the job market and spend forever, find out what companies are hiring, I think some of these 5 tips will help. And so the first one is companies are just utilizing technology to streamline the interview process. We all have seen it, right? A company will say, well, you know, I don't really want to spend forever screening you on the phone. Can you just send me a resume and let me look at it? That just kind of falls hand in hand with that. So I urge people to have a digital resume. You know, it's nice that you've got a paper one and you go to job fairs and you pass that around. Fortunately, we're not in the Stone Age anymore, and you're not flying down the back of a brontosaurus. You've got to have a digital resume. You know, even if you don't feel it's important, I try to urge people, it is important. If you're currently employed, it doesn't matter what you do. It's important to have a resume, a digital resume. Don't feel like your job is any less. Don't feel you have to work in an office or be an admin assistant to have a damn resume. No, you can have it in any career field. If you want to get hit up, you want to have people approach you for a job, post it. Get it on Career Builder. Get it on ZipRecruiter, Monster, Indeed, your local workforce development. You would be surprised if you post a resume on any or all of those platforms, how quickly somebody, a recruiting agency, a recruiter within a company, whatever, will call you and say, hey, are you testing the job market? You know, the great piece is you don't necessarily actually have to be looking, but maybe you just want to hear what's out there. The faster you get those up on those sites, the faster you're going to be contacted. I cannot stress that enough. So you might love your job, you might love your company, but why not test the waters? Why not see if there's a potential pay increase, a better benefit increase, or just something like that?
So let me ask you something, David.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to become like a porn model, okay? So would I need past experience, and like what kind of resume would I have to get that kind of job?
I think the only credential you would really need is to be hung like a horse. So that's totally on you.
That is not true. That is not true, man.
Okay. All right.
Not anymore.
No,
they have
Epic, you'd have some stuff to work on. You'd have to work on your pullout game, man.
Well, see,
I
think that would probably disqualify me, because they would see the 4 kids on my and they're like, you know what? We can't trust him around the porn stars because he just won't pull out. He won't do it.
You need him to commit to a money shot, and unfortunately, you can't do that.
Gonna happen.
Damn it! That just ruins my chances. Damn it! Why? Okay, go ahead.
Yep,
carry on.
Got burnt up. No sweat. Number 2, social recruiting is continuing to get stronger. So there's still a lot of people in today's day and age, right? They don't trust social media. Oh, I don't want my personal information out there. Totally respect it. Totally understand it. The regrettable part is if you're looking for a job or if you're looking for a career change, you don't got to be fully invested in that account. Just create one and monitor it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, even if you don't care about that, you don't give a shit what people are saying and what's trending, just make you a professional account. And if I can stress any of those, right, I don't work for LinkedIn. Let me just throw that out there. But, man, they are awesome with when you create a profile. You can set your settings to what areas, what countries, what states you're willing to work, what jobs you want. And then recruiters get to see that, and they call you based upon that. Let me tell you a personal story. Before I took the job that I took, I posted that I was willing to move to the Northwest. I've always wanted to live in, like, Seattle, Oregon. You know, it looked beautiful up there. And I posted on LinkedIn that I was willing to do that. And I was actually contacted by Amazon for a recruiter manager job up there. I thought, holy crap, this is a game changer, right? I interviewed, I went through the process. Unfortunately, at the time, I would have had to sell my house and move, and they wanted somebody in the position in like 30 days. So they ran with somebody who was local. But I'd love to tell people that, because it's like, you know, you can get the job of your dreams because everybody's on LinkedIn. You can have a big company call you and go, oh, he's willing to move to so-and-so, or, oh, he's looking for this particular title. It kind of puts your information out there for everybody to see. And if you got the experience, you're going to get contacted. You may be contacted about jobs you don't give a shit about. That's okay. But at least they've got their eyes on you, and you can network with those people. So you might hate social media. You might be in love with it, but I'm telling you, it's the future if you want to gain a position no matter where it's at. Can't stress that enough.
That's right. If you want to be a professional meat inspector, you could definitely do that on LinkedIn too.
That's a gay porn site, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I've told you to stay off those gay porn sites, man. God.
I don't know to be disturbed because you guys know that, or
well, no. On serious note, I do have a LinkedIn profile. Obviously, I don't put it out there because I don't want it to be linked to the show so much. Fuck you guys, you know what I mean? But anyways, I want to at least pretend I have some sort of professional dignity. Yes.
Fake it till you make it, brother.
That's right.
I hear you.
So anyways, but yeah, occasionally I'll get a inbox message about like a position or whatever. There was one I missed because I hadn't logged in for a while. For like a district manager for a meat department. Seriously. Man. Yeah, but you know, one thing I will say to kind of add on to that is don't just make a LinkedIn profile and then never check it. Like, you should at least check it once a week.
Yes, I agree, and be detailed on it. Like I
Yeah.
have mine set for. I get notifications, my inbox notifications, because that's where they'll always contact
Yeah.
you. They'll message you, "Hey, are you
Absolutely.
looking for this kind of job?" And the good thing is most of them are pretty friendly. They'll say, "Are you interested in a role like this?" And even if you're not interested, you can respond, "No, I'm not, but you know what? Let's connect. Be one of my connections on LinkedIn, and then keep me
Absolutely.
in the loop if you hear about other jobs like this." That keeps it positive. So maybe you need to revisit that conversation in a month when you're like, "Holy hell, I got to get out of this job." You can talk to those people again. So it's like saying, "Thanks, but I'm not saying this will never happen. So let's stay connected." It's just an awesome tool. People don't realize. And if I can piggyback off that, make sure you're detailed on your job duties. Don't just put where you worked and the years you worked there. Give a description on what exactly you did. That's going to help out a great deal because people search keywords on LinkedIn. So they're looking for manager, they're looking for detail oriented, they're looking for all of these specific things. And if you have them in your profile is more apt to be seen by numerous people.
I mean, and a lot of employers nowadays, they might even say, "Hey, if you don't have a resume, shoot us your LinkedIn profile
Absolutely right.
URL, and
Great
we'll
point.
check it out." Because because a lot of times, what's cool about LinkedIn, it's almost like it is almost like a resume. I mean, it has all your past work experience,
Yep.
has your present employer. It tells you how long you've been, at a job. They give anniversaries, like they'll say, "Oh, congratulate so and so on 10 years at a job," or whatever. And it is, and that's why I like to kind of keep that separate from like my personal stuff and only post like
Yeah.
professional stuff on there, because they definitely do look at that.
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right, man. And the other part to it is you can click and check off on the things that interest you. So, if you're in the media world like you are, you can like other radio stations, national radio stations, marketing, advertising companies, things like that, so that those jobs are what you get to see. You get to tailor what you view. You get to tailor who contacts you. And in the world we live today, that's what everybody wants, right? They want it all customized. So that's the
That's
perfect
right.
way to do it. Good points. Good points. My third point to this is competition is very strong. It doesn't matter what career field you're in. It really does not matter. From food services to engineering, there's a lot of competitors out there. Companies are evolving, so don't be scared to go to a competitor. If you feel like you're being mistreated, go down the street to somebody who does the exact same thing and say, "Listen, I've got experience in this field. This company's not treating me properly," and let them go from there. Companies are headhunting at an astronomical rate this year. The old phrase headhunting, most people don't realize that's just recruiting today. Plucking and being direct and pulling people right out of the organization. So make their job easier. If you're working at McDonald's and you're not treated right, take your ass to Burger King and say, "This is what I can do. What are you willing to pay for it?" Don't be shy about that. I cannot stress that to people enough.
Well, people are always looking for experience, and especially if you have a good track record.
Absolutely right. And hard to work in career fields are always a plus too. Hospitality is so hard. They're always looking for people. Not everybody wants to do it. If that's your cup of tea and you can do it, go to a competitor. Knock it out of the park.
For sure.
Technology is exclusive to companies, so I've been telling people this a whole lot lately. We've all worked for a company where we've had to learn like a software program or some sort of internal training thing that is exclusive to that company. Well, They know they've got to spend a lot of time and money for you to learn that, right? I think you probably know some sort of inventory management system or digital shipping system or something to that effect that costs them big money to have to retrain to someone else. So they would much rather promote you or move you to another opportunity within the company than train somebody off the street. So that is kind of a weapon I tell people that they can use. Those softwares and skill-specific roles, a company would rather retrain you and then create upskilling and reskilling opportunities, meaning, "Hey, you already know how to do this. How about we send you to a school in this other state? We'll pay for it. That'll give you even more skills to do this particular job." So they want to invest in you, whether you want to be invested in or not.
That's an interesting point, because I actually thought the same thing. I was like, if you're actually interested in doing something that requires a license, maybe talk to a couple companies first, because a lot of times they're looking for people, because it's hard to find good people. So if you interview well and you say, "Hey, like, I really want to do this. I don't have my license. A lot of times they do offer opportunities for you to get the license and even get it paid for. I mean, that was kind of
You are
like that with
absolutely
my
right.
job. I started off as just a regular delivery driver. They were short on CDL drivers, so they actually paid for me to go and get my CDL.
Beautiful. See, and that's a prime example. So I'm glad you backed that up. That's testament to it. I say this, and I don't say it lightly. I tell people this probably a dozen times a day, and I don't know if they don't believe me or what, but almost every client, every employer that I work with says, I would rather hire an employee and train them skills because I cannot train their attitude or willingness to learn.
Exactly.
So sometimes just the attitude and willingness to learn, to say, listen, yes, I don't know how to do this, but if you put me into this program, I'm going to give this company all the loyalty I can. I'm not going anywhere. They would rather hear that than, yep, I've got the experience, but I really don't care if you hire me or somebody. It's all about that, man. They can train skills all day long. They cannot train your attitude. So that's so important.
I mean, plus you get a lot of people sometimes that do have a lot of experience, but like this particular job might do something a little differently. Sometimes they do like to pull somebody from the street and teach them their way of doing it instead of somebody that kind of like is used to doing things their way and don't really care
Absolutely
about
right.
the way you do it. I've seen that a lot
Absolutely.
too. Somebody will come in and they'll be like, oh, I already know how to do all this, or I didn't do this in my last job, so it's not important, and they don't like to hear that.
Yep. Absolutely right. And that goes to the last point to this, which is people are being hired on projected career paths and not solely on education and experience anymore. So I'll give you, for instance, we've been licensed through the state of Nebraska to find social services workers. And I am hiring people that have worked at McDonald's and worked in retail and done customer service at the Gap, but I can see that they have an associate's in social services work, or I can see that they've worked with people with disabilities or something to that effect. So I'm bringing them in for their heart and their experience. I'm not necessarily bringing them in just on education or just because they've done hospitality. I'm looking at their career path. And you can see that clear and cut with a lot of folks. If you've got a education in media or being a radio presence, but I've seen you've worked in a warehouse, I'm going, wait a minute, you had a commitment here to radio and digital media and things like that. So I want to talk to you about that, because I can see that you're just paying your bills with the warehouse stuff, but I see your heart and your projected future is here. So a lot of companies are doing that. So don't feel like, oh gosh, I haven't necessarily done that. I'm not saying, if you drive a forklift, you should go to NASA and apply to be an astronaut. I'm not saying that at all. But know your market, know where you're trying to apply and trying to work at, and understand that if you've got experience you've worked toward or education you've worked towards in that field, it will be noticed by the right people. And if it's not, speak about it in your interview. Don't be shy. Hey, you can see, no, I have not done this work, but you can see I started an associate's degree or a certificate, or I went through several hours of this training because that is where I want to take my future. They're more apt to hire you for that than somebody who's been in that field forever and maybe they've bounced around and don't want to be there anymore.
Exactly. Because obviously, if there's a way, like especially if they've bounced around in the same industry over and over again. Now, a lot of people know a lot of other people in the same industry. So if you're getting around and you're bouncing company to company, sometimes you might come up in a conversation with, so you might want to, keep your options open. I've always been like a proponent of like being a jack of all trades, learning different skills as you go along. Things that you can put on the resume to make you stand out. Yeah.
You reminded me of a really strong point. That's exactly right. Companies will say all the time, I want to train somebody and move them into a different area, or train them on another piece of equipment, or train them on this particular section of the plant or whatever. And you'd be surprised how many people are like, no, I'd rather just stay in my one little area. Well, then just don't complain if you never get to promote or you don't get that pay increase. So I stress it to people exactly like what you just said, Epic. Don't be shy. If you feel like you're doing the same damn thing every day, I guarantee if you go to your boss or supervisor or whoever higher up and you say, hey, I would like to learn a different area so I can be more valuable to the company. Even if they don't have another area, they're like, holy shit, this guy cares and he wants to be here forever, or this gal, they want to be here. So if you feel like you're stagnant and you're doing the same damn thing over and over again, I guarantee you see some sort of invigoration or different attitude from your employer if you go to them and say, I want to do something different. I want to learn a different. Can you just show me? Can you teach me? Because the willingness to learn is evaporating. Nobody has it anymore.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much for
thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a pleasure, man. So that was David with Get to Work. We are going to move over to our next topic.
All right.
Yeah. So apparently, Pabst Blue Ribbon released a 99 pack of beer.
Yeah.
99 pack of beer.
99.
There we go.
99 cans of beer.
Yeah. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. No, I'm joking. Do you have 99 problems? Because Pabst doesn't. The company just has 99 packs of beer. According to a rep for PBR, the Pabst Blue Ribbon 99 pack is stacked with Pabst Blue Ribbon Easy, Extra, and Original cans. Unlike the traditional case of beer, this case is long enough that you might have trouble getting in doorways. The limited edition family pack was being sold by yes, that was in quotation marks.
Hey kids, grab you some of this shitty beer and come join the old man.
It was being sold by a Minnesota distributor for $59.99, and they couldn't keep it in stock. It's available on
price. Yeah, man.
It's available in 15 states, including Pennsylvania, in limited quantities.
Road trip.
Yes.
So it's what's the cost of it?
60 bucks.
60 bucks for 99 cans. That's not bad.
No, still not worth it.
I agree,
it's Pabst Blue Ribbon.
And how do they make
It's
three types of Pabst? Like
drop-
shitty, shittier, and shittiest?
Yeah.
I mean,
Should have been $19.99 for the kids.
It's gonna get right.
Yeah, because you get what like a 40 ounce of Pabst Blue Ribbon for like 50 cents now. Like,
Yeah.
So you can drink regular PBR and just have like bad shits, or you can drink the ultra PBR and have like,
Extra bad
the
shit.
diarrhea where you can put turkey handprints on the wall with it. You know?
yeah,
Oh, gross.
it's like diarrhea, extra diarrhea, extra diarrhea. Yes,
Like
in that order.
bowel cleansing for your colonoscopy.
I know. It's like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my
go
God.
ahead.
I can't even do it.
Do it.
Oh my God. What you do is you put it with the Pabst and the Blue Ribbon and you drink it and you have the diarrhea. Oh my God. I don't even know. Anyways, so yeah, anybody want to take a trip to Pennsylvania?
Really?
I mean, dude, I was seeing.
It figures Pennsylvania will be selling that shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because the Steelers, I mean, they lost to us, and now they gotta drink their life away.
Well, they have Icy
With-
Light,
with
which
shitty
is
beer.
even worse than PBR, man.
Ugh.
Have you Icy Light? That's a Pittsburgh beer.
I see the light.
Yeah.
Icy Delight. It's not a delight.
You know what PBR stands for? Pretty broke, right?
Yeah, it's about
By us, right? Pretty broke, right?
That's what your bowels will be saying.
Yeah.
Your bowels will be broke after you drink that shit.
It is a fun fact that when you drink PBR and then you urinate later, it's 99.9% PBR.
I'm sure it is. It's just
Oh
water.
man. In other news, speaking of beer,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let me find this shit real quick.
Where is it? Where is it?
I don't know,
Oh
man.
my God.
He's losing his head.
Is it lost
I
in
am.
between the sheets somewhere?
That is weird. I can't
It's in-
find it. Huh.
Huh.
That is strange. I can't find the damn paper. Did it fall?
Well, let's wing it.
What, this one?
No. No.
The
The one
rolling
with the
papers?
topics, yeah.
The rolling papers.
PayPal pulls out a Pornhub.
Well, I do have it here. So, anyways, rare condition caused a man in the U.S. to produce a beer-like substance in his gut after eating carbohydrates, which made him drunk.
Something about like yeast, right, or something.
Well, the ordeal saw the man pulled over by police for driving under the influence and convinced his family he was hiding a drinking habit. Doctors found the fungus
Go ahead.
Saccharomyces cerevisiae.
Oh, wow.
I actually had to Google that to learn how to pronounce it, by the way. Or brewer's yeast.
You're a better man than me.
Yes. In the man's stool sample, the fungus is commonly used in brewing to turn carbohydrates into alcohol and was kicking off the process in this man's digestive system.
Somebody's poking around his stool samples.
Yep, causing his alcohol blood levels to spike without him drinking. Yes.
Wow.
It's really crazy, right? So in a test for autobrewery syndrome, the man was asked to eat a heavy meal and carbohydrates. His blood alcohol levels rose after the meal. Doctors prescribed him with an antifungal medication and told him to stop eating carbohydrates. However, his symptoms of inebriation returned, causing him to hit his head and suffer bleeding in his skull.
Ooh.
Large amounts of alcohol were once again found in his system. He insisted that he hadn't been drinking, but the doctors didn't believe him. The man found new hope after he visited a gastroenterology department at Richmond Universal Medical Center in New York. Physicians confirmed fungal yeast had formed in his upper small bowel and a pouch linking the junction of his small and large intestines. They learned that the patient had worked for a construction company and helped to repair houses contaminated with mold, which they believe explained the condition. The man took a course of antifungal medication and was ordered by doctors to stop eating carbohydrates for 6 weeks. Around a year and a half later, he visited Richmond University. He no longer experiences symptoms and can once again eat normally. The condition was likely triggered by a prolonged course of antibiotics for a thumb injury, which changed the makeup of his gut bacteria. The police, doctors, nurses, even his family told him he wasn't telling the truth, that he must be a closet drinker, he said.
Nah, he's drinking that
PBR, yeah.
PBR, 99 cans.
The most surprising finding was how functional the patient was with such a high blood alcohol. He had developed a high tolerance level to the alcohol.
And he burped a lot.
Yes, he burped a lot. I mean,
damn.
I'm just saying, like, that is amazing. Like, you could literally brew your own brew in your gut.
In your bowels.
That is amazing. Like, cheapest bar tab ever.
It's a great name for a new brewery, Bow Brewery. We brew our beers in your bowels.
Yeah, right?
Everything's got a little brown tint to it, you know?
There's a fungus among us.
Turkey gravy.
Turkey gravy.
That is crazy, though. I mean, think about that. Like, dude, like, could you imagine, like, like going to a party? Like, oh, no wine for me. Food gets me drunk.
Let me get a couple of
I'm
pieces
drunk
of bread.
on life, literally. What?
And just give him a couple pieces of bread.
Yeah, a couple of pieces of bread. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm feeling tipsy.
Just like prison hooch, you know?
That's right. Could you imagine? Could you imagine being in prison with that? Bro. Yeah.
Your time will go by pretty fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. They'll be inspecting everybody's cells. Like, where's that PBR at?
99 cans.
Actually, I think PBR is teamed up with this guy. That's how they're producing the 99.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, they just wouldn't be able to produce enough beer to...
Usually it works the other way. Usually you put beer in and then it comes back out.
Yes.
Yeah.
This time it's working itself out.
Through the
in
end.
and out. Yeah. That's straight. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take another break.
Aw.
Yeah. When we get back, we're going to talk about PayPal pulling out of Pornhub. Say that 10 times fast. And then we're going to be playing with some balls with Jay Fowler over here.
Couldn't I just watch it 10 times?
if you could get it up like that, sure. All right. So make sure you follow us on the social medias. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram at the Epic Radio Show. Excuse me, and the epicradioshow.com. And
is that a little beer in your belly, man?
I think it's just fucking coffee. But anyways, right now we have a sale on t-shirts of $10 and free shipping. So go ahead and check that out on the epicradioshow.com, or you can go to Etsy and type in the Epic Radio Show. We'll be right there. You could donate to the show on Cash App, $ the Epic Radio Show.
Because
or
we want your money.
That's right. I mean, it would help us out. New equipment when we need it. We could do more outside activities to include all of you. It would be great, because right now 100% of this comes out of our pockets, and sometimes we could always use a little bit of crowdfunding. That's all.
You know what? Most places give you something for your money. We're not going to give you shit, okay?
Well,
just give us your money so we can do more of this, all right?
Well, I am working on getting the Patreon thing going together.
I don't know what that means, man. You're getting all smart on me.
Yeah,
now.
we'll talk about that later.
Patreon, is that like tequila?
No, that's Patron.
Patron.
Yeah,
you're giving everybody Patron. They would give you money.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
maybe
if
we should just give everybody Patron.
Yeah,
man.
$1 a shot.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd lose money.
We could have Rachel give them the shots. They'll give us money then.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shot to the face. All right, guys. Well,
I'm not touching that one.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm going to go ahead and go on break. And then when we get back, we're going to get into it. That was a nice little break because for some reason I lost my topic sheet. It was nice. Made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Just in time for the holidays.
Exactly. And speaking of warm and fuzzy,
Fits like a glove.
yeah. PayPal pulls out of Pornhub. PayPal has turned off payments to Pornhub's models, a move that's left honchos at the adult video website hot and bothered. With the great. With the crackdown of sex trafficking and an allow states and victims to fight online sex trafficking act, say that 10 times fast, which makes internet companies potentially liable if they knowingly facilitate activities
I'm all about
that violate
activities.
Yeah, that violate existing sex trafficking laws. Cutting off the model's money may be a cautious step PayPal is taking to make sure it's not breaking the law. Pornhub says it's devastated by the decision that will dry up payments for more than 1,000 performers.
Just need some
100,000 performers, sorry, who rely on them for their livelihoods. The site will have staff working around the clock to make sure models get their money once they pick a new payment method.
And they get some staff too.
Pornhub said in a blog that this move by PayPal and other major companies do nothing but harm efforts to end discrimination and stigma towards sex workers.
Yeah, stand up for sex workers, man.
PayPal has only responded by saying, following a review, we have discovered that Pornhub has made certain business payments through PayPal without seeking our permission. We have taken action to stop these transactions from occurring, but they have yet to comment on exactly what problematic payments they were referring to. So what do you guys think? Do you think PayPal is feeding into the stigma
it's those
towards
Asian,
sex workers?
The Asian parlors, man. Robert Kraft.
Yeah. Or do you think they're legitimately trying to combat sex trafficking? Or are they just trying to protect their assets? I mean, I don't know. Like it's kind of it's kind of a titty twister for me, because I'm not really sure. I want to stand hard on the subject against sex trafficking, but PayPal's like giving it to them a little rough, I think,
You
what
worked hard on this, didn't you? Up all night.
I'm literally just coming up with this shit. Seriously though, what do you guys think?
They're just gonna find a back door.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what it is. They're just gonna find a back door.
I don't understand how the hell they would be getting paid anyways when 90 isn't that like almost a free site?
No. So how it works is they like
people sign up.
Yeah, well, okay, so
subscriptions and stuff.
let me explain it for a little bit. Okay, so they get ad. They do get ad money.
Okay,
okay, so they get ad money. And what people do is they sign up, and they can post their own videos, and they get 100% of the ownership of it.
Okay.
But so they get a portion of the profit sharing. And they get that money, and sometimes, I mean, it could be as little as 1,000 a month, as much as 100,000. It really depends on the model and how much, how many views they get and stuff. It's like YouTube, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, PayPal was basically the main thing they were all using.
Gotcha.
Because it's secure and it is. They didn't want to give Pornhub their bank account. You know what I mean?
Right.
Account number.
Can't trust those.
Yeah,
whores, man.
So it kind of puts them in a weird position, something they're not used to being in.
Venmo's gonna jump right on this, though, man.
That's right.
They're all up in this, man.
That's right. So I guess PayPal's a little better than me because they're a little better at pulling out than I am.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Jay, what was it you said about it when they didn't pull? If PayPal didn't pull out, what was your thing you said earlier? Come on, man, share it.
I don't remember. Wait.
I don't want to steal your thunder, man. It was good.
If PayPal didn't pull out a porn,
Yeah.
they'd have a
Bunch of little
porn pal.
bunch of little porn pals running around.
A bunch of little porn pals.
Porn pals. That's hilarious.
That's the best of the day right there, man. I had to make sure he shared it.
Yeah. Yep.
I totally forgot about that.
Maybe they just want to bring other people in. Maybe that's the whole thing.
That's
And just want to make it like some sort of payment orgy.
It's like
PayPal's like, you know what?
A group pay.
Yeah, there you go, group pay.
The whole new category of porn.
That's right. That's right.
Put it
it's like, ooh, yeah, give me that credit card, daddy.
I've already heard that one.
From your ex-wife?
From Rachel.
What's this world coming to?
I'm kidding. She's gonna slap
What's this world coming to when PayPal's not gonna pay their Pornhub's prostitutes?
I know, right?
That's not fair, man.
Another thing too that
Porns need paid too.
On the whole thing with Pornhub. Now, in order to sign up and everything, you have to give them a copy of your photo ID.
How do you know this?
Well, it was in the article. I just cut a lot of that stuff out.
Yeah.
So
good save.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not currently on Pornhub. Me and Ashley are not doing the dirty on the Pornhub. But we are upset that PayPal did move because now we're going to have to find another
source to pay for. I thought the second show after this was the Pornhub show you and Ashley did, right?
Subscribe to our channel. No,
buy the shirts.
That's right.
Before we get censored.
The $5 handies. Yeah. That's where that came from. Okay. Anyways, moving on, man. From Pornhub to playing with balls.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be awesome, right?
No pulling out here.
No pulling out here.
He's all in.
He's gonna pull out. The only thing he's gonna pull out is all the stops for his segment. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do the intro. All right, buddy. What's going on? It's been a while since you've been playing with the balls.
Been a while. I went to treatment.
Yo, you know what's funny? Ashley, she just said we're under Tom Nash. That's our profile name on Pornhub.
Tom Nash. It does sound like a porn name too. I'm Tom Nash.
All right, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
All right. Anyway, so today in sports, we're gonna do a little bit of NBA real quick.
Okay.
Just want to do a rundown real quick. The Cavs actually have a game today at 3:00 against the 76ers. Their record, go Cavs. So their record is actually 4-7 right now. Still early in the NBA season, but in the NBA, actually, the best team right now is the Celtics in the East, and the best team in the West is actually the Lakers right now.
Okay.
And those saddened Cavs fans that are still heartbroken over them losses to Golden State will be happy to know that they're actually in last place.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, it's crazy. And then
because they lost what? Kevin Durant and
Kevin Durant left. And Klay Thompson's out with an injury.
Yep.
I mean, they'll get back to. I mean, the West is tough though, man. I don't.
They are,
tough.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, way early.
Yeah,
way early. Yep.
It is. How is Steph Curry playing this year? You know.
I mean, he's doing all right. I mean, but it's kind of like Draymond Green's not really like the old Draymond Green. So I mean, they got D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I don't know. I mean, it's still early though, man. You never know. I mean, it's way too early in the NBA season.
Jay, don't the Warriors kind of look spent though, not the team they were in the previous years?
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's
I guess they won too much, right?
Yeah, I guess
they've lost some of the players. They just
some of the players
still don't have the look they had on the court.
Well, yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, definitely doesn't look like they're having too much fun together nowadays. But I mean, when you lose someone like Kevin Durant, I mean, even Andre Iguodala, he's gone.
Yeah, I know.
And he was a big
piece.
Key,
yes.
bench
absolutely
piece. So, but I mean, the Cavs, I think right now we got something special going with the young players.
Mm-hmm.
I think they drafted pretty good this year. Garland was a good pickup. Actually, the Lakers were actually looking to draft him before they moved the piece to get Anthony Davis. But anyways, the Cavs 4-7 right now. They should be hopefully if the playoffs were to start right now, they'd be like 10th in the East, so no playoffs for the Cavs.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still a long season. But anyways, we'll move on to the NHL for you guys. The Blue Jackets actually just won against the Blues 3-2.
Yeah.
So
they're a big scoring team too.
Yeah. And I mean, the Blue Jackets, they're starting off slow. They're trying to find their mojo, get back to how they were playing last season. But like, NHL, it's still the beginning of the year, so it's not, it's still a lot more hockey to be played. Next we'll move on to the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Go Bucks.
Yeah, definitely.
Heck yeah, now I'm going to get more excited. There's not much there's not much news, for basketball season and stuff like that right now, but in baseball season is not much going on right now. Besides some scandals.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about that real quick before we go
can
into
do that real quick. Yeah,
the Bucks.
I gotta get broken back in.
Yeah, I know it's been a while.
Yeah, definitely.
And well, and
I had to throw this together last minute.
Yeah,
too.
Mark was supposed to actually be here today also, but he had some family stuff to take care of. So we're hoping everything's
okay.
Yeah, we're hoping everything's okay. So Jay literally just had to put this together last minute because he was expecting kind of to bounce off of Mark and not actually be the lead today.
So, but anyways, baseball.
Yeah.
So, Trevor Bauer had said something back in 2018, and he accused the Houston Astros of being cheaters. And I don't know if you guys have heard what's going on right now, but a lot of people in Houston's organization, even the players, are trying to come to their defense, saying, they're lies and stuff like that. But now a lot of stuff is actually surfacing, text messages, emails, stuff like that. In 2017, that the Houston Astros were actually stealing signs.
And elaborate that for people.
So, like, basically what was happening was, when they were at their home stadium during the playoff run and all that, they had a guy out in the field like stealing signs, like stealing the pitching signs, or it could go as far as like the base running signs, the base coaches, stuff like that. So like they're basically cheating. And
they caught them through email, or like how did they do that?
Yeah, it came out. Some exec came out and started. Maybe some. I don't know the whole story, but I know that maybe bad blood. Maybe if you're with an organization and things don't work out. Maybe sometimes, man, people need to understand in sports, man. There's always going to be some type of leak. I mean, people aren't going to keep their mouths shut forever.
Yeah.
So I mean, eventually something's going to come up. But if this was like college sports, they would actually take the title, or the bowl win from that
organization.
Yeah. So like, would you take the World Series title from Houston?
Absolutely, because they were talking about doing that for the Patriots that year.
And you know what the thing is, man? The Yankees were when the Yankees were home.
They were spanking
the Astros, and then all of a sudden they'd go back to Houston and freaking,
and they had home
field
advantage, so they had more home games.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's why they were winning more home games, because they were cheating.
Yeah, So
so what they were doing, they were actually stealing signs as far as like they had somebody, I guess, in the audience, correct? In the stands.
Yeah, in the stands.
Literally with like binoculars or whatever, and like literally with the walkie-talkie or whatever, however they were communicating.
Yeah, I even think they were videotaping too.
Those Astro holes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, so but yeah, that's all coming out. That's some MLB stuff happening now. So
That's what we call ass trolls.
Yeah, Astros.
Ass trolls.
yeah, but yeah, ass trolls. Anyways, back to college football.
Oh yeah,
so,
here we go.
So right now, Ohio State, the Buckeyes, just came off a pretty good win, 56-21 against Rutgers.
Woo!
They're 10-0. They're ranked number 2.
Yep.
Which
is insane to me. Why aren't they number 1? They always want to do that to us.
Yeah, they were number 1 for a quick
BS.
second. Yeah.
It is.
The way they do it is BS.
Yeah, but you know what? That's gonna set up if LSU's number 1 and we're number 2. I mean, that'll set it up to where Clemson is 3 and somehow Alabama is still number 4, which I don't. That just blows my mind.
This ranking system that I've never understood that.
I know, man.
In college, the way they do that.
It's like Alabama gets a pass. Like Ohio State got screwed the 1 year.
Yeah.
And granted, Alabama won it that season, but Ohio State I thought was the better team and should have been in. And but I mean Alabama came in and won it that year, but. This ranking system's kind of flawed, I think.
I think
without
so.
a doubt, because it's opinions of the reporters, basically. It's opinion based.
Yeah, still have Alabama to right now as its position, they'd still get in the college playoffs. Like their conference, they're probably not even going to play for a conference championship now that they lost. So I mean, that's kind of stupid.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, they should go off standings.
Yeah.
I think the problem with the universities is there's so many teams.
Yeah.
So I understand that they have to do something other than just standings.
Yeah.
Because there are different schools and they don't all invest in the same amount of money or have the same. But that's why you have different divisions, right?
Yeah.
You would think they would just classify people based on what they did last year. That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's how it is usually. It's kind of between that and then like how the committee thinks the teams are gonna rank.
That's
when they
weird,
first
right?
start, yeah. But next up for Ohio State is Penn State. They're ranked 9th right now. That's gonna be a big game for us. And then, of course, after that, we play Michigan.
Yes.
So those are the 2 games we have left.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we'll probably be in a bowl game or, conference championship and then the playoffs. So hopefully Ohio State, I think they're going to win out. I think Ohio State's the best team in college right now. Yeah. I mean, complete team. And since we got Justin Fields, that's he's a solid quarterback, man.
Mm-hmm.
And the defense. Now, hopefully, Chase Young, which is arguably the top, he is, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, he's the top ranked prospect coming out of college, he's a defensive end, at Ohio State. He was suspended 2 games for some stupid stuff, but basically accepting money or something like that, or help.
Don't they always suspend them for stupid stuff?
Yeah,
though? It's always stupid.
Especially if
what I liked. I'm sorry to cut you off, but what I liked, accepting money and getting in California, they passed that law where you can now.
But you know what? That's also, I'm glad you brought that up because that's also making teams like Ohio State or like they're not going to play teams from California.
Really?
It's going to hurt that state when it comes to game placement, like people wanting to play them.
Well, isn't that going before the Supreme Court or a regional appellate court or something? They're really looking at that,
They should let these kids get some endorsement
because, it's ridiculous that they can't at least get sponsorships.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
They are literally raping these kids.
Oh, yeah,
But they
for
have
sure.
a free ride too. You got to remember, these kids are getting a free education that other people are paying.
Yeah, but
tens of
what if they
thousands
get
of dollars.
hurt? They get hurt, and then they don't have an NFL future. At least
Yeah.
they'll get something out of it.
That sounds like a little buttercup to me, man. I'm sorry.
I'm on
You're
the
gonna get-
fence a little bit, but I mean,
I think the can of worms they opened, in my opinion, was when they legalized the collegiate sports gambling. Opened up a can of worms.
Yeah.
And now they're
Yeah.
saying these people should be compensated. If they hadn't opened up in my opinion, that can of worms with the
yeah,
wagering on.
there's no way that they're gonna be able to pay all these kids to.
Mm-mm.
That's way too much.
No,
money,
I'm
but-
saying let them get
Get
sponsorships.
endorsements.
Well, that's
Yeah,
where it's at right
sponsorships.
now. I believe is that they're going to get they're allowed to they're allowed to be compensated for their likeness. Is the
Yeah,
way it is.
exactly.
The
That's
way
what-
they've used it, as
Yeah,
I
exactly.
understand.
Okay.
I'm not going to say I'm accurate, but that's the way I understand.
I thought that was still illegal.
That in California, the way the
that's
rule
what they just
passed was-
passed it. Yeah.
No, I'm saying like nationwide though.
Yeah, California's the only place
only
that passed it
place
right now.
that's allowing it right now.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you get a big star in Ohio State, like the quarterback. You
Why
know?
is he going to go to Ohio State when he can make money in college?
Well, that's what
going-
I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
it's
with you.
well, not only that, but like I said, it's the whole thing. Like I'm not saying they should get a salary.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that.
Right.
But I'm saying that like if he's a prospective player that could be going into the NFL,
hmm
they're already doing commercials with these
Yeah,
guys for Nike and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let them get paid for it at least.
So then
Yeah.
what happens in the next decade when they go and say the high school kid that has that collegiate opportunity who's going to go pro?
I mean, I get that,
now
but
they're gonna
hey,
pay
you know what
him?
though? They were. Look at LeBron.
He was not allowed to.
He wasn't allowed
they
to, but he still
backdoored-
did.
They backdoored
But-
because he was
Yeah.
driving that Hummer
Hummer.
around in the hood,
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm not bagging on LeBron. We
No.
love him, but that's the truth, They
It
found
is.
a way.
Yeah, exactly. But that's my point. And this has been the history of things throughout the United States.
Yeah.
Is if you don't legalize it, people's going to find a way to do it anyways.
This
Yeah,
is
definitely.
true.
That's
And if
why-
it's not really hurting anybody, because who was it hurting?
Mm-hmm.
He ended up being one of the
Well,
biggest players in the NBA.
The
Right.
only thing about the Chase Young suspension, this kid was gonna be in the running to be a Heisman Trophy winner.
Don't let
Hey,
the Browns
Felicia.
draft him.
Huh? Well, I mean, it's very rare that you get a defensive player as a Heisman Trophy winner. Anyways, Charles Woodson, is one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But other than that, but now, if he would have played these games, he could have had a good chance at winning it. But now I'm missing 2 games that really hurt him
Yeah.
with stats. But he's still a freak, man. He's gonna go in the top 3, if not number 1 overall, depending on whoever needs a quarterback. But yeah. But anyways, Ohio State, I think they're gonna win it, man. But on to the final subject, the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got some news for these guys, for Browns fans. So Myles Garrett, anyways, we just beat Pittsburgh 21-7. It was a good game.
Yes, it was.
Really, really good game. For a minute there, when our safeties, when Burnett went down with the Achilles,
Yeah.
and then we had an ejection, which I thought was BS. Our other safety got ejected for a helmet-to-helmet hit.
That was an accident, though, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was. You can even tell he wasn't like gunning for him. It was just like,
It just happened to
hey,
be.
you're
yeah.
running full speed. How fast do you expect
and
yourself to pull
and
up?
honestly, when you're running a football, and I know you know this, but a lot of times you kind of duck down and
Yeah.
you tuck
Yeah.
the football in.
Listen, I
So if
played
you're
defense,
running
man.
head first into somebody and has his head down, the chances of you guys hitting helmet to helmet. What sucks about
Yeah.
it is you got these mics on these a lot of these football players now, so it sounds a lot louder.
Yeah.
When they hit,
Yeah.
it sounds like a gunshot.
Yeah, but anyways, Demarius Randall, like I play defense. When you're running like full speed, and I'm sorry, but how are you gonna expect someone to reteach themselves how to tackle? Like they've tackled a certain way their whole life.
Yeah.
And they
And-
change the rules every year
Yeah,
about
they
this.
change the
I know.
rules every year. It's
year.
like,
It becomes more of a pussy sport, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah.
does.
They might as well put flags on him.
Yep, it's just a matter of time.
I know.
It's a matter of time.
But yeah, I thought if you want to think of a way to try to keep a team in it, man. I mean, when they got as soon as Demarius Randall got ejected and our other safety went down, they started passing on us. I'm like, man, but of course 2 of their starters went out too with injuries.
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of leveled it a little bit, but it was a good game, man, and it kind of had that.
Baker looked good, man.
Oh yeah, he did. Baker looked really good.
It's the porn star.
He had
mustache.
He had 3 total. He had 3 total touchdowns. He had 2 passing TDs and a rushing TD.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Hey, didn't he actually rush in and do it himself too?
yeah.
Yeah.
He got put like a little help that like he stretched over. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
But it was a good game. Now at the end of the game, Myles Garrett, 8 seconds left. 8 seconds left. You got the game won.
Yeah.
Now
There's a lot of controversy.
there's a lot of stuff that went on at the end of that game with. First of all, I think Mason Rudolph should be suspended for trying to rip the helmet off of Myles Garrett. At least if everyone else is going to get suspended, you might as well at least fine him or something.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that he got away scot-free.
Scot-free.
Because, I mean, he literally tried to twist it off of his head.
Yeah,
and that's what started it all.
Yeah, and then Myles Garrett is just like what the hell? So he's like, all right, this is what we're doing now. We're pulling helmets off. So
yeah,
he's gonna he pulls his helmet off. Now, granted, you should never hit someone in the head with the object or helmet or anything like that. But my thing with that is you got 2 big ass offensive linemen pretty much like restraining you, pushing you back and swinging at you. And then you got the quarterback who Mason Rudolph has got to be one of the most like stupid. I mean, you're going to rush at someone with your helmet off and then you're rushing at him while he's being restrained back. So Myles Garrett took it upon himself to hit him in the head with the helmet, which he shouldn't have done that. But if I was Mason Rudolph, I would have just like stood back, man. I mean, I don't know why the hell he would charge at him.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. He was already restrained at that point.
Yeah, he was the offensive line. And then the lineman, of course, threw Garrett to the ground and were kicking him and punching him. And I mean, Pouncey got suspended too, but
for 3 days, right?
3 games, yeah.
3 games.
But Myles Garrett, my whole thing with this whole thing, Myles Garrett, I don't think he should have been. I think 4 games at the most he should have been suspended, not the whole season, and definitely not playoffs if we make the playoffs.
Yeah,
which is a long shot, but I mean.
But Jay, doesn't he have a bit of a history on the field as being a little bit of a badass?
Who, Myles Garrett?
Yeah.
No, okay, that's what they say, but here's the problem with that. He's only like that. The fines that he got were like, first of all, the quarterback is put up on a pedestal to not even be able to.
Yeah,
you might as well.
You can't even look at him. You can't even.
Yeah,
look
you
at
can't
him.
even look at him without getting a penalty thrown out. So like all them penalties that he fines he got in the beginning of the season for like late hits or whatever, dude.
Leading with the helmet.
Do you know how hard it's got to be to play defense in the NFL now?
Right.
Like you cannot cover the receivers. You can't touch them.
Can't touch them.
Can't blow on them.
Can't hit the quarterback.
The quarterback, yeah, literally.
They might as well put a woman back there. You know?
As soon as you see the quarterback starting to just throw, you might as well just fall down or not even try to do anything because you're gonna get a late hit call.
Yeah.
Yep. Incidental contact doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's like, come on. And so I mean, I don't know. The rules are just so, and I understand. Like, here's my thing.
Okay.
I already knew Myles Garrett was getting suspended for the whole year right after that because you know what? Even our own news people, everyone was sitting there blowing up like he's gone for the whole year. He needs to be gone for the whole year. Well, you're already putting it in Roger Goodell's head that hey, he's gonna that he needs to be suspended for the whole year.
Yep.
So everyone should have just shut the hell up and let him do his job.
Yep.
Because now they already planted it like he should be suspended for the whole year, which I don't think he should have been gone for the whole year. Like
because there was too many parties involved.
You
know,
exactly.
and if that was right, then do it to everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then everybody should have got suspended for the rest of the year.
My favorite thing is I was watching Max Kellerman and he actually rolled his eyes at Damian Woody because these guys are sitting there like they could have killed him.
Oh.
Are you serious, man? You gotta be the dumbest. Come on, man. And I'm trying to explain people. I've actually been hit in the head with a football helmet before. So I mean, dude, come on, man. I'm way smaller than Mason Rudolph, and I'm not dead. Like, dude, like they're just blowing everything out of proportion.
It is.
You think he's?
I mean, they were
kill
literally
him?
sitting there saying, "Oh, like he's going to be known for the rest of his life as a guy who tried to kill somebody with the helmet."
Well, he will go down in history. It'll be a football,
They said
forever.
he could. This is what was said. He could take the Cleveland Browns to Super Bowl after Super Bowl, and he'll still just be remembered as
the helmet hitter.
And I'm like, yeah, right, dude. I'm like, first of all, it was against Pittsburgh, so every Browns fan is clapping. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, it's like, yeah, you win a Super Bowl in Cleveland for Cleveland Browns fans.
Don't think that's not going to be the first thing they remember. Yeah,
right.
They're going to forget about that.
Yeah, for
quick.
sure. And like Myles Garrett, like he lost his cool, so like it's no way am I saying it's any
no.
Is it cool?
It's unsportsmanlike.
He should have never did
either way.
Even Baker,
you gotta be the
after
bigger
the
man.
Game,
yeah.
Even Baker Mayfield after the game was like, "Look, man, that's uncalled for."
Yeah,
which it is uncalled for, and he knows it. Myles Garrett knows it.
I mean, he did issue that apology, and I felt like that was pretty heartfelt, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think he would have gotten the suspension he did if he hadn't had the previous situations with the
I think they were gunning for him from day one, from minute one. I mean,
yeah, because they're trying to make a
example
out of
him.
him. But I mean, just don't take your helmet off. First of all, if you're on the field of play, just try to keep your helmet on.
Well, he took it.
He took it off himself, but hey, man, that's what happens. Look, I was gonna bring my helmet in, actually, one of my helmets, and have you put it on, and I was gonna like yank on it, like because
that
would if just coming from Myles Garrett's side. Like, bro, like if I'm a player,
he was twisted that shit. Could have broke his neck.
If you, dude, anyone out there that's also played football or any sport like that, and dude, that pisses me off when someone grabs my face mask.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So like, for someone to try to grab it and rip it off my head and twist it.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell no, dude.
I mean, it was just like, remember that football player that got stabbed in the eye by the flag?
Oh yeah, he was on the Browns.
Yeah, he was on the Browns too. You don't remember this?
No.
They threw a flag.
Orlando Brown, I think.
Yes. And he got stabbed in the fucking eye with the flag.
Yeah, the ref accidentally threw.
Well, it's got the little weight in it. Like
yeah,
a lead
the weight hit
in
him right in the eye. He
Yes.
actually went blind in his eye for. I don't know if he still was blind.
Did they suspend the official?
Well,
yeah, he ended up coming back
what
to
he
play.
ended up doing was punching the official, and he got suspended.
Well, he shoved the ref down.
But
Yeah,
that's
he pushed
football
him down.
too, man.
Yeah.
The thing they always say in football is it's not the first foul that gets the penalty. You know, it's the guy who throws the second punch that always gets the
with
the
that
worst.
with the incident you were talking about with the flag, I understand. I understand him being pissed because, yo, dude, you just blinded me.
I know, right?
But then I also get the ref's side too because
it was an accident.
It was an accident, and like the ref just out of
What was
nowhere
his
is
name?
being attacked. I think it was Orlando Brown.
All right, I'm gonna look up. I want to see if he's still blinded.
I know.
I don't know.
I know he played afterwards. I think he played for. I think his son plays now, if I'm not mistaken. I think his son plays for Baltimore.
Blinded by flag. Okay, let's see. Orlando Brown, bruising offensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens, who was
his son
temporarily blinded in one eye
temporary.
by a referee's errant penalty flag, leading him to file a $200 million lawsuit against the NFL.
Did he?
He
win
was
it?
dead.
He's
He's dead.
He is.
He died
passed
in
away.
40. Yeah.
He passed away. His son plays for the Ravens now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of ironic, isn't it? The extra I and ironic.
Is that what they put?
No, I just said
you
that.
did it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow, he was 40 years old and dead, man.
Yeah, he passed
This was
away.
in 2011.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
His son, they say his son is like a spitting image of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
yeah, but
Okay.
I don't know. So we do have an uphill battle. Good thing the next game that Ogunjobi's going to be suspended for. Miles is gone. That's 2 of your defensive linemen gone right there for the next game. But
and we smacked them this game, so
but we're playing Miami, so that's
a beatable team.
Yeah, oh definitely.
Oh God, Dolphins are horrible this year.
But our defense isn't that strong, and we needed those guys on our D, man.
Yeah.
We're just...
Well, here's the thing: our team as a whole, as the season's going on, is getting a lot better.
We're gelling.
Oh yeah, we're starting to click and find things out. But so we'll see how we finish this year. Hopefully, we'll finish it strong. What we really need now is this offense to start clicking and stay clicking how it is.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I'll tell you what, they did have a good game last game, but even Baker said it. You know,
and there's still a lot of penalties.
Yeah, and he's like, man, they're nowhere near where they should be. Like, there's a lot of improvement.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because after 14 points, after we started hot, they stalled for
they did.
a good amount of time.
I mean, you know, honestly, if it wasn't for Pittsburgh playing so shitty, they could have easily come back.
Yeah.
They had a bad game.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
But this is the first game in 5 years we won against them?
Yeah. And Pittsburgh's defense came into that game as they've been playing lights out, man. The Pittsburgh's defense is really good.
Yeah. So it was definitely a stepping stone for us in the right direction. I really feel like they can build off that win.
Now it's going to be very interesting coming up after the Dolphins. We have Pittsburgh again. Mm-hmm. So that's in Pittsburgh. So that's going to be a fun.
That's going to be a fight is what
game.
It's going to be.
Yes.
It's going to be part 2.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
That rivalry is going strong now.
It's going to go part 2, man.
Yeah.
You want to, there you go. You want to kick back up an old rivalry. Smack someone in the head with a helmet.
Absolutely, man.
Be sure to take your batteries.
Yeah. Is that everything?
Yep, that's it, man.
What about the game this Sunday? What are you thinking, man?
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk spread.
Okay, well, there's no game this Sunday.
Oh, that's right.
It's a bye week.
We had the Thursday,
well, no, we had Thursday night.
Yeah.
We played Pittsburgh,
that's right.
So the next one's next Sunday. My
bad.
Them
Thursday games always throw me off, too. Because you know what? I swear to God, this whole time I'm sitting here thinking, like, yeah, man, we get this is stupid in my behalf because I'm a sports guy, and I'm like, oh yeah, man, I can't wait for the Browns game today. And then I'm thinking, like, wait a minute, we already played.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, no other games though. So
what do you think about the spread though against Miami in next week?
I think we could easily beat them by 4 touchdowns.
By 4?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I know that's a big number.
Miami, I think this is a chance for this offense. I think Odell can have a huge game next week.
I think so too.
I think they can run up the scoreboard on Miami.
Beckham hasn't had the game he should have yet.
Dude,
kind of
Miami, what are they, like 2 and...
They're like, they've only won 2 games.
They've only won 2 games for this. I mean, their defense and offense has been just laughable this year.
Yeah,
I mean, literally.
Well, yeah, they pretty much are rebuilding. They're definitely just. Oh, I mean, they traded away all their
veteran players.
I mean, they started that when they traded Jarvis Landry to us. So I mean, So I mean, they're definitely
in a rebuild. And
mode.
I honestly, they might even be just trying to get the picks for next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this point,
I think they have 2 or 3 first round.
That's
picks
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
they'll definitely get a quarterback because they're gonna finish. They can either get Tua
Hi, Olivia,
or Burrow.
So what do you think about what's the spread, man, for that game? You think it's going to be more than 7? If you were to guess, let's just talk
like
shit.
7 points.
Yeah, you think it'd be greater than 7?
Man, I don't know because it is. I don't know, man. I don't even know how.
Any given Sunday, right?
Yeah, because it's the Browns, so it might be 4, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be more than a touchdown.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I think that we can get confidence. The confidence after Pittsburgh,
and
how shitty of a team Miami is this year. I think we could go balls to the wall. That's why I said 4 touchdowns.
I'm telling you, that
3 or 4.
I wouldn't be surprised if the.
I mean,
Browns
we won against
out.
Pittsburgh 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
By 2. So
And that
it's
was
possible.
and that was with the Browns stalling for half the
Yeah,
damn
that's
game,
what I'm
too.
saying. We had and this is one thing that this team really needs to tighten up on, and we've been saying it all year so far. Is
Little
the first
things.
half
Blowing timeouts when they should need them in the
the
second.
first
Yes.
half we always look great. First half,
Always the team.
something happens
Mhm.
during halftime,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they just get complacent or they just, I don't know, maybe too many handies in the locker room. I don't know what's going on, but once they come out, I don't know, maybe they're vaping or something. Maybe they're all hired. I have no clue.
Yeah.
But whatever happens during halftime,
Well, maybe they should not focus on changing their facial hair 3 times in one game, or like maybe not wearing watches and freaking
shoes that don't
fancy shoes
yeah,
and shit that don't match your uniform.
that takes
Yeah.
me off. That
Yeah,
takes
but no,
me off.
they're. I mean, I understand. I don't know. I mean, I heard the whole thing with Beckham. I heard he thought they were wearing the white jerseys. That's why he wore those.
His shoes would not have worked though, even with the white jerseys. They weren't the team approved
Well,
shoes.
Yeah, they were like Joker cleats or something.
Yeah,
but they were
yeah.
sweet though. I liked them.
Yeah. And that defies that reflects, I think, on the lack of team. You know.
Well, no, it's Freddie Kitchens. I think he's too loose style coach, man.
Right.
Like,
which is something we've said too.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to be buddy.
and it's like, dude, you can't. You gotta
Yeah.
be,
He's
That's
a
why I
nice
really-
guy.
especially with
I
all
really-
these egos, man.
Yes,
You-
and I really liked.
Greg
Greg
Williams. Yeah, I like.
he
Greg
was
Williams
he was
too.
so great for the team. I mean, obviously we're crying over spilled milk, but
Yeah,
Nothing we
it
can
just
do.
nothing we could do now. But God, man,
I think.
we could have won probably at least 3 more games if he was
Oh,
still.
I think
Yeah, I
we're-
think if Freddie Kitchens can somehow finish this season off strong, I say keep him, because I don't want to keep. I don't want to keep switching,
Yeah.
because there's been
No,
rumblings
yeah.
about letting him go already.
No,
but
I don't want to do that.
if he starts figuring things out now, if it gets to the point where he's still blowing timeouts,
yeah.
and like he doesn't know clock management and like the little things you should know being
Yeah.
a head coach, then he's got to go, because obviously if you're not gonna figure shit out after you've blown 50 timeouts through the season,
Yeah.
then I don't know. I just think you got to go then.
But
Yeah.
This is the thing about that Cleveland does over and over. This is a guy who has never been a head coach
I
before.
know.
Exactly.
And it's his first year.
It is.
I gotta
I
give him-
thought we should have got Bruce Arians. Like, out of the whole coaching search, if we didn't keep
Yeah.
Greg Williams, I thought Bruce Arians should have been someone we could have brought. And he said he wanted to take this because he was an offensive coordinator here in Cleveland before.
You got to give him a chance to get used to being a head
Head
coach.
coach,
It
yeah,
is
exactly.
not an easy role
It is
to
not,
step
no.
into.
You know what, though? Here's my thing, though. This guy wants to still call plays. If you're a first-time head coach, dude,
I agree.
leave the play calling to someone else.
I agree
Yes.
with you 100%
Yeah.
on that. You need to have people around you so that you're not going to make dumb calls, and,
Yeah.
and missed off.
Because you got a
and
lot more
stuff.
stuff to pay attention to.
Yeah.
being a head
Honestly,
coach.
another thing too. I mean, it doesn't fall on you at that point.
Yeah.
Because if you let somebody else make the calls and they blow the calls, you can just say, "Oh, it was the offensive coordinator or it was defensive coordinator." You know,
Mhm.
I'm just saying. Blame shifting isn't necessarily a bad thing when you're a head coach of especially the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. Yeah, but they definitely gotta. They have to keep like a culture around. You know what I'm saying? Like, not switching things up all the time is not.
So Jay, my mom said, Ryan said, "Hello, Daddy and Mommy," and there's Jay.
Aw.
What's up, Ryan?
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Can
Thank you.
I ask one more question, Jay?
Go ahead.
What's your thoughts about next year with every team playing abroad?
What do you
They're
mean?
saying. They're saying every team in the NFL I think it starts next year is going to play overseas, at least one game.
For the NFL as a brand, I think that's a good thing.
It evens it out. I think it's rough for some teams to go overboard.
Yeah,
Overseas to play.
some teams that are, some teams that travel, I think will be a little harder on, but depending on how the schedule goes, but
I think
it's good for the brand of football. Because,
it is.
I mean,
but-
because they have fans overseas,
Mhm.
and they always pack that stadium.
And they pack huge stadiums, man.
Yeah.
Well, another
Yeah.
thing too, right? So look at it.
As long as they don't get a like say London, oh, they're gonna get their own team. That'd be kind of stupid.
They talked about that years ago, and that wasn't
because
feasible.
Jacksonville's owner was trying to actually. I think he was talking about moving the team at one point to there, but that'd be a lot. I mean,
it would be a lot for them to travel back and forth.
Exactly.
I mean, it's already like apparent when they have to go from like here to LA. Jet lag plays a factor sometimes in play.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go to China and fucking play or some shit. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, I think what's going to happen is you're going to see they're going to stretch out the schedule because they're going to put.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to put another 16 games won't be enough.
They're going to. They're going to have to.
Well, there's been talks too of changing the preseason, shortening the preseason, and putting those 2 games as regular season games.
I've heard that talk too.
But the players don't. The players disagree with that.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's 2 more extra games that. You're gonna have to put your body on the line.
But again, you know what will happen with that in the long run is that the players are going to get more money because there's going to be more revenue, and the Players Association is going to come and say, "Hey, we want a bigger piece of that."
Yeah, that is another argument though.
That's what
they
want
more money too. Exactly.
Yes.
I know it's tough, man. It's tough because as any business, you want to expand eventually, but when you're talking about sports and you're talking about competitive nature of things and how that interworks and trying to take care of your players too, it kind of becomes a problem too, because I mean, I'm just saying players get in trouble all the time over here.
Yeah.
But I will say, because of the way that Americans look at our pro sports, I think sometimes they get away with more than they should. Right?
Yeah.
Now, picture the same scenario. They're in Paris. They have a game in Paris, and they do something stupid. And now they have to deal with a what if they have to go to court? You know what I mean? So what they got to stay over there, or they got to keep flying back and forth?
They're gonna take their passport.
I mean, there's a lot of shit. Yeah, there's a lot of shit. You know,
well, some players may not be allowed to travel because of things like that.
I know. That's another thing you got to think of.
So you know.
Well, no, I think I don't think that will.
You think maybe they'll get a free pass because through NFL they'll work out some sort of travel deal?
And there's only certain countries will only keep you. Only certain countries are strict.
You can't even go to Canada now if you had a DUI. They're not going to let these.
Canada, honestly, I'll tell you, is one of the stricter countries. Like, you're not going to have a problem trying to go to Mexico or go to London or they'll. That's
because half that country have DUIs.
Yeah. So I mean,
in England, London,
no, Canada's a special exception. They're strict.
Yeah,
they don't put up with. Which I can't. I don't know though, because to be honest, their legal system seems kind of fucked up. Dude, Megan's cousin, bro, somehow keeps getting let out of jail.
They've got some lenient laws there. You know,
dude, no,
it's weird. They're strict about certain things, but then lenient.
I'm not gonna get into.
You know that women can be topless and it's legal. And
I'm not gonna. I guess it's up and down with them. I guess they're strict, but then when it comes to their citizens, they don't.
Yeah.
Because, dude, if you even knew half the story, and I explained it to you, you'd be like, how does basically, you know how we have bonds?
Yeah.
They have assurities. So say you get arrested, you're just someone's like, "Oh, I promise to keep an eye on him and he'll be all right." And this is for rapists and shit, dude. Weird crazy
you know what's funny?
Shit.
Not to cut you off, dude, but every time I see a therapist, I just think oh, why did they not put a space in the rapist?
Oh my god.
Anyways, random thought. But that was Playing with Balls with Jay Val.
Yeah, holy cow, that was long.
Welcome back. Yeah. That's all for the show today.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So make sure you follow us on the social medias. I've got the wrong one, but it doesn't matter. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We don't really do nothing with our Snapchat. We suck. Next week on the show, we're going to have Mike Jenkins.
Hilarious dude.
Hilarious comic. I've seen him live.
Wrestler.
Yes, pro wrestler. Just a lot of guy who wears a lot of hats.
Yeah, originally from Ohio, now lives in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good man.
He's a really good guy. Chris won't be in the studio next week or the week after that because he sucks.
I do suck.
Nah, you're fine. You're fine.
I'll phone in though from.
What are you going to be doing?
Zimbabwe.
Let's see. I got a show this coming weekend, Saturday in Canton, Ohio. So if you're in the Canton, Ohio area, check out the Angry Avocado.
Oh man, I want some Angry Avocados.
Angry Avocado, man. It's always good to put that adjective in front of a.
You know what an Angry Avocado is, right?
No,
it's just an avocado with hot sauce.
But we got the incredibly funny Tim Wolf, who just recorded a comedy album at the Funny Farm in Youngstown, and we're having him headline. I got another gentleman from the Louisville, Kentucky area on the show. Michael Copenhaver is going to be doing a spot there as well, who's worked with us here
he's been on the show.
Ago.
Yeah, funny guy.
Ago. Yeah, so it's a good show coming up.
He's actually one of our top fans now, too.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He does his stuff, you know?
Absolutely.
So next Saturday in Canton. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, okay. All right, so that's it for the show, guys. It's been a pleasure as always. Make sure you check us out on the website. Purchase shirts or hoodies. They make good Christmas gifts. Or you could go ahead and donate. Also, if you have a small business, we have a subscription set up that could tailor your needs. The lowest package being $20 a month. That's it. That's cheap. That's cheap, man. So if you're looking to get your small business off the ground and you want to advertise with us, and we reach about 30,000 people a month.
Woo!
30,000.
Woo!
We had the numbers from Facebook, and it was around 15,000. And then our website, which is performing in the 97th percentile for podcast websites right now, according to GoDaddy.
Awesome!
Yeah, so we're reaching another 15,000 people just on that website alone. So if you wanted to advertise and you want to get your name out there, do it with the Epic Radio Show and Brain Baby Media. We will help you out. Or you can just email us, epic@theepicradioshow.com. We can go over everything with you. We will see you next week.
We can drive traffic to your site.
That's right.
That's it, man. We will.
Yep. And I mean, and if you talk to anybody that we've been advertising, they will definitely tell you that they get a lot more response.
We drive traffic to your sites.
That's right.
$20 a month. What a bargain.
Yes.
Buy some.
Absolutely. So that's it for the show. I want to thank you guys so much. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, David, Ashley, and Rachel for being in the chat. And also thank you to Anthony Covatta for being on the show. We will see you guys next week. And as always, make life epic.
Dear Mr. President, there are too many states nowadays. Please eliminate 3. I am not a crackpot.
Oh, wow, that was terrible.
Hasta la vista, baby.
No!
That's my only real motivation, is not to be hassled. That and the fear of losing my job, but you know, Bob, that'll only make someone work just hard enough not to get fired.
And I'm sorry, we're out of time. Bye.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Please leave this office.
Do we get any sort of souvenir?
Get out of my office!
Oh my God, it feels so good. Oh yeah, oh slow down. Oh yeah, who's your daddy?
That's all, folks.